Hello everybody and welcome back to Space Engineers. I'm going to do a super quick video today, guys. I know there's been a lot of new players following the free weekend we had, so I thought I'd show you the best tip I ever received for getting to space in Space Engineers. Credit to, I think I heard it originally from Splitsy, but I just want to show you guys how to do this. Now, bit of context: if you're first time playing Space Engineers and you're trying to get to space, you probably built a hydrogen powered ship like the one I've got in front of me. This is the Hermes class Courier. The link will be in the description. It's a pretty decent survival ship. You've probably started to notice how quickly your hydrogen drains when you're flying in atmosphere, particularly 1G and above, that your hydrogen is just literally evaporating before you rise. And you might be trying to fly to space, and if you're playing in vanilla, you've got the 100 meters per second speed limit. So basically, you're just pushing against this limit when you're trying to burn upwards, basically. So I'm going to show you how to get to space on as little fuel as possible. Really quick tip. A lot of you might know it, but if it helps a few people, it's worth it. So the first thing you want to do is determine what axis of thrust is going to get you to space. This is normally up or forward thrust. What I mean by that is it's either going to be the thrusters on the bottom that are pushing you up, or the one on the back. So wherever you've got more thrust. Obviously on this ship I have more thrust at the back. So what I'm going to do is you need to be sat in a flight seat for this. So sit in a flight seat. Make sure you show the hidden blocks as well, just in case some builds having a lot of blocks hidden. And then type in forward. Now this is forward thrust that's going to push you forward. So the direction is the way it's going to push you. So select your forward thrusters, or if you're going to be doing your upward thrusters, select them. I'm just going to use, actually I'll use all of them just for demonstration purposes. So select all of them. So select all your forward thrusts, and then just name it as a group. Doesn't really matter what. Make sure you've got it as a group. So once you've got the group, what you want to do is you want to go to your G menu, or whatever the button is on the console. Make sure you've got two spaces on the toolbar. Find the group you just made, so we call it forward. Increase thrust override and decrease thrust override. And what that does is it basically sets the thruster to be constantly burning. So if we turn it on 5%, you'll see I'm not pressing anything right now, but we're slowly accelerating because it's given all forward thrust 5% power. And this is how we want to get to space. So point the ship up and increase the thruster override until we're accelerating like this. So this is what we're going to do. Point up, or if you go in with the bottom thrust, obviously just face flat and just keep accelerating. This bit's going to use the most hydrogen. Once you're nearing 100 meters per second, start reducing the thruster override, and you see now our speed's dropping. As you get higher and further away from the planetary body, gravitational pull will start to decrease, which you can see on the toolbar where it says P gravity. But for now, just increase and decrease this thruster override and try and keep it between sort of ideally 90 to 95. Keep it in that range so that you're not hitting the speed limit. You're also going at a pretty decent pace because it will take you quite a long time to get out of the atmosphere, especially on the Earth-like planet. And this will ensure that you're not basically wasting hydrogen pushing against a speed limit that you can't break. And when I discovered this, I realised that I could get to space with like 10% or less of the hydrogen that I was using before. So like I said, it's probably not going to help everyone, but new players, this was definitely the way to go if you're using hydrogen to get to space, which I'd recommend. Now you can see P gravity is at 0.88, 0.87, 0.86, so we're going to need less and less thrust to maintain that speed. So 20% is now accelerating us, for example. And we just want to sit within that limit, basically. So look, our speed is a bit too high, so we're going to cut thrust again. Then also the planetary gravity is now at 0.7. and you can see the speed sort of equalising, and then we're actually accelerating on 15% now. And you can see the thrusters are barely firing. Like, you can save so much fuel doing this. It's unbelievable. Now we're down to 10%. Bump it back up again a little bit. And that's pretty much the gist of how you want to get to space. You just feather it like this, and you're going to save yourself a hell of a lot of fuel. So, yeah, I'll just do a little speed run now while we get to space, because it does take quite a long time. But basically, keep it between 90 and 95. And welcome back, guys. We're at 0.06. After 0.05 it just cuts off. So I thought we'd jump back. I'm actually at the point now where I'm having to feather thrust on and off because 5% is still too much. But yeah, I mean, this thing's designed to have a bit of a payload, which we don't have at the moment. So it's like a sports car basically. So yeah, 0.05 planetary gravity. I'll just change the thing so you can see it a bit clearer. And we're now in space. So it's about 30 odd kilometers up, I think, like 33, 35 where you get to space. But you know, there you have it. It does take quite a while with the 100 meters per second speed, but there you go. We are in space. There's the moon. Is that the moon? I don't know, per time I think. But yeah, just wanted to share that tip. If you guys found it helpful, please like, comment, subscribe, support the channel. Let me know if you'd like to see any more useful tips or tutorials in the comment section down below. And as always, take care, everybody.